Ever found yourself wondering how that tangy, creamy tartar sauce is made? Well, you're in the right place. Tartar sauce, a classic accompaniment to seafood, has a story as captivating as its taste. Born in France, this creamy condiment has travelled across borders, winning hearts and tantalising taste buds along the way. Often associated with fish and chips, tartar sauce has a wider culinary reach than you might imagine. It's a staple in many a kitchen, offering an instant flavour upgrade to everything from sandwiches to grilled vegetables. What makes tartar sauce so universally loved? It's the perfect balance of flavours. The tanginess of the pickles, the richness of the mayonnaise, and the subtle hint of mustard create a symphony of flavours that can elevate the simplest of dishes. But here's the best part. Making tartar sauce at home is easier than you think. Yes, you heard it right. With just a handful of ingredients and a few minutes, you can whip up a batch of homemade tartar sauce that's fresher and tastier than anything you'd find on a supermarket shelf. We'll be exploring the simple process of making tartar sauce at home in the next few scenes. And trust me, once you've tasted homemade tartar sauce, you'll never want to go back to the store-bought version. But before we get to the how-to, let's delve a little deeper into what makes tartar sauce so special. We'll look at the core ingredients that give this condiment its unique flavour profile. We'll also discuss some common variations of tartar sauce around the world, because as with any culinary gem, there are countless ways to add your own twist to the classic recipe. So buckle up and prepare to dive into the world of tartar sauce. Before we get our hands dirty, let's gather what we need. Now, what goes into our delightful tartar sauce, you ask? Well, it's a simple yet clever blend of everyday ingredients that come together to create an explosion of flavours. First up, we have mayonnaise, the creamy base that gives our sauce its smooth and velvety texture. Mayonnaise is essentially an emulsion of egg yolks and oil, whipped together until they reach a beautiful, glossy consistency. It's the canvas upon which we paint our tartar sauce masterpiece. Next, we have pickles. Not just any pickles, mind you, but dill pickles. These little green gems add a crunch and a zing that cuts through the richness of the mayonnaise. They offer a delightful tang that's quintessential to the tartar sauce we know and love. Then comes the lemon juice. This is where the magic happens. The acidity of the lemon juice balances out the creaminess of the mayonnaise and the sharpness of the pickles. It adds a freshness that brightens up the sauce, making it the perfect accompaniment for any fried dish. And let's not forget about the herbs. Parsley and dill, to be precise. These herbs lend a certain earthiness to the sauce, grounding the other flavours and adding a hint of complexity. They also provide a pop of colour, making our sauce as pleasing to the eye as it is to the palate. Last but not least, we have the seasonings. A bit of salt, a dash of pepper, and a sprinkle of sugar. These may seem like humble additions, but they're essential in enhancing the flavours of our ingredients and tying everything together. And there you have it. Mayonnaise, pickles, lemon juice, herbs and seasonings. 5 simple categories of ingredients that, when combined, create a sauce that's creamy, tangy, fresh and downright delicious. With these simple ingredients, we're ready to whip up some homemade tartar sauce. Now the moment you've been waiting for, making the tartar sauce. We're about to embark on a culinary journey, transforming humble ingredients into a delectable condiment. This process, dear listener, is as much an art as it is a science. So, ready your kitchen utensils, steady your hands, and let's dive right in. To start, you'll need to chop up some pickles. These crunchy morsels are the soul of tartar sauce, providing a tangy flavour and a bite of texture. Now you might be thinking, how finely should I chop these pickles? Well, aim for a medium dice. Not too chunky, not too fine. You want little bits of pickle in every spoonful, but not so much that they overpower the creaminess of the mayonnaise. Once your pickles are chopped, it's time to move on to the next step, mixing the ingredients. This is where the magic truly happens. You'll need to gather your mayonnaise, mustard, lemon juice and, of course, the chopped pickles. Mix them all together in a bowl, stirring until everything is thoroughly combined. Ah, the beauty of simplicity. In the midst of this mixing, it's important to taste and adjust. This, my friends, is what separates a good sauce from a great one. Add a pinch of salt, a dash of pepper, perhaps a squeeze more lemon juice. Remember, cooking is not a rigid science, but a flexible art. Feel free to add a little of this or that until it tastes just right to you. Now that we've got all our ingredients mixed together, It's time for the final step, refrigeration. You see, tartar sauce isn't just a mix of ingredients. It's a blend of flavors, each one needing time to mingle and meld with the others. So pop your sauce into the fridge for at least an hour before serving. This will allow the flavors to mature and the sauce to thicken slightly, resulting in a richer, more flavorful condiment. And there you have it. In just a few simple steps, you've turned everyday ingredients into something extraordinary. But don't just take my word for it. Go ahead and try it for yourself. Slather it on a fish fillet, dollop it on a crab cake, or simply dip in a fry. You've made this sauce, and now it's time to savor it. Remember, cooking is a journey, not a destination. Each time you make this sauce, you'll discover new flavors, new techniques, and perhaps even a new love for the art of cooking. So keep experimenting, keep tasting, and most importantly, keep enjoying the process. And there you have it, your very own homemade tartar sauce. Encountered a hiccup while making your tartar sauce? Fear not. Sometimes, even the most seasoned culinary enthusiast can run into a few snags while whipping up a batch of tartar sauce. Let's delve into some common problems and their solutions. Firstly, if your sauce is too runny, it's likely due to an excess of liquid ingredients. The quick fix? Add more mayonnaise. This will help thicken up your sauce and bring it back to that creamy consistency we're after. Remember, it's always easier to add than to subtract, so pour your liquids in gradually. On the flip side, if your tartar sauce is too thick, it's probably because you've added too much mayonnaise or not enough liquid ingredients. The solution here is simple. Gradually add more lemon juice or vinegar, stirring continuously until you reach your desired consistency. But be careful, adding too much at once can make your sauce too tangy. Another common issue is a lack of flavor. If your sauce is tasting a bit bland, try adding more mustard, pickles, or even a dash of salt. Adjust the seasoning until your taste buds are singing. Lastly, if your sauce separates or curdles, it's usually because the ingredients were not at the same temperature when mixed. Ensure all your ingredients are at room temperature before you start mixing. With these tips and tricks, you're well on your way to becoming a tartar sauce master. Let's take a moment to recap. In the grand scheme of culinary adventures, tartar sauce holds its own with its tangy, creamy, and subtly sweet flavor profile. We've journeyed through the process of crafting this delightful condiment from scratch, beginning with a simple selection of fresh, high-quality ingredients. Remember, the backbone of tartar sauce is mayonnaise. This creamy base is given a zesty punch with the addition of lemon juice and capers. The finely chopped pickles and onions add a crunch that contrasts beautifully with the smoothness of the mayonnaise. Don't forget the dash of mustard and a sprinkle of salt and pepper to taste. We walk through the process, step by step, from the careful chopping of ingredients to the gentle stirring that marries them all together. The key here is patience and precision. It's about allowing the flavors to meld and mature, creating a sauce that's more than just the sum of its parts. And of course, we touched on some troubleshooting tips. Remember, if your sauce is too thick, a splash of pickle juice can do wonders. If it's too runny, a bit more mayonnaise will bring it back to the right consistency. So there you have it, the mystery of tartar sauce unveiled. Now go forth and elevate your seafood dishes with this homemade delight.